Traum's a baddie. But before we get into that, I need y'all to hit that sub button for your boy. Trying to get the 2K before the year ends. Now, where we left off last week was Urek versus Luslec, with Luslec seeming to lost a little bit of interest in the fight, given that Urek is kind of ridiculous. Now, Urek says, "What's up? Like, what we doing? We getting into this or not?" And Luslec says, "Okay, before I give you my answer, what are we doing here? I understand you trying to protect the 10 family heads, but who is this person you hunting?" And Urek, like, really not that cool with Luslec, so of course he's not going to give him the information. But he's saying is he hunting this dude because he's trying to cause chaos in the tower, basically. And I will say this is one of the things I don't like about Urek, because why, but we'll get into that later. Luslec says, "Okay, then we really can't be cool, and I'm really going to have to box you. But we not doing that right now." So Luslec uses another spell called a Bright Shift that gets him up out of there, basically distorts the space in the darkness, and it seems to immobilize Urek as well. And before Luslec dips, he tells Urek, like, "Look, I think I could beat you too." And this completely fucks Urek's head up. Like, Urek don't know what to do with that. But as he's leaving, Urek says, "Damn, I wasn't even supposed to actually be mixing with Fug." So it appears that Ryuk gave Urek orders to not even be mixing with Luslec. But Urek also realizes that Fug isn't necessarily scared of him or their organization, and that they're probably going to play dirty. Now, I don't know who this guy is inside the Urek ship, but he basically describes the space that Urek was in as distorted with darkness, and Luslec's spell pretty much worked pretty decently. But Urek says that they're going to head to the chess match, and boom. So we return to Luslec's ship, where he is tired and his elders is giving him shit, and it's hilarious. But Jinsong asked the question we was all wondering: can he actually beat Urek? And it seems that he thinks he really can, thinking about multiple methods to do it. But he does caution with saying he doesn't know how deep the sea is. So what do you guys think? Y'all think Luslec might be like that? I think so. And so we finally get a POV shift with baam and crew in front of the gate to enter the chess match. Now, Bellier starts it off with, "Hey, do you guys want to play a game?" I'll get into that later, guys. But Traum's reaction was similar to my reaction. Like, "No, bro. Like, I didn't come here to play games, bro. Like, I came here to get this irregular, deal with Gustang, and go home." But Traum shows his complete dominance with his power, taking over everybody in the area, even baam. Baam says that he can't do anything with Traum's power dominating the area. He has no control, and even says that he might need Leviathan's help. But before Traum can do anything, Bell says, "Hey, we have what you want. We have Enkidou." Who the hell is Enkidou? But it appears that it's a memory that Traum discarded, and we get a small flashback where we see Traum maskless. And this, again, Traum is a baddie. Pause, but he's a baddie. And Gustang seems to be in this flashback as well, telling him that Blank was killed because of Enkidou. Now, who Blank is, we'll get into that a little bit later, but Traum decides that he's going to discard the memory because I guess the pain of it is too much, and that's the end of the chapter. We gotta dive into a lot of this. So let's start off with Urek versus Luslec. Now, while you guys may know that Urek is like my 6th favorite character, I dislike this whole thing of him wanting to protect the family heads. Now, I know you guys want to make the argument that he doesn't want the tower to go into disarray if the family heads are killed and blah, blah, blah. I get that whole thing. But if that's the case, he should be working with them instead of seeming like an errand boy. Because that's what he seems like right now, indirectly helping the family heads. Now, we don't know the exact reasoning. It can't be simply not wanting to distort the tower. It's got to be more to it, and I hope it is, because we haven't seen Urek in a long time, and if this is his reasoning, it's a little bit meh for me. But the person he's hunting is very interesting. Now, we can all assume that this is probably the boss, right? Because the boss seems to be the one controlling the revolutionaries and seems to have the connections, you know, making connections with people like Macheni. And Urek hunting him is kind of crazy, right? Like, what do you guys scale the boss? Like, let me know in the comment section. But I think the boss has got to be scaled pretty high, given that the 4th strongest person in the tower is hunting him. And it seems that Urek thinks that the boss is going to show up at the chess match, hence the whole reason he's here in the first place. I didn't expect that. I honestly did not expect the boss to show up. I know that we're expecting key figures to be here at the chess match, but the boss is not one I actually thought of. And speaking of the chess match, I hate the game thing, guys, and I'm gonna go on a little rant here. I hate games. Like, Tower of God is full of games, and I get it, but this whole thing with the chess match, we've been waiting for it for a while now, guys. Like, it's been hyped up. Like, we thought that we were going to get that chapter 600. We didn't get there, and then now it seems like it's going to be padded with more stuff, with more games to block us from getting to it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Season 3 overall has been a pretty decent season, but we're ready for this chess match to start. Like, can we not go into a whole game scenario where the team gets split up and all this extra stuff that we just don't really need? But just to go back, so let's talk about how dominant Traum is when it comes to his power. You guys, you CBL lovers, okay, you certified bomb lovers, you guys gotta calm down on the bomb hype, okay? Scale him down, because he was completely dominated by Traum. He admits that he can't deal with this overwhelming power, and I know a lot of you guys is pushing him close to family head level. No, you have to rank him down significantly, guys. Like, he's not touching even Luslec right now, because Luslec is clearly a threat to even Urek. So Bomb is clearly not a threat to Luslec or a family head, given that Traum just dominated this man's entire presence. Now, we understand that the second Thorn is supposed to be controlling space, and his space was just overwhelmed. Even if he popped the second Thorn, he wouldn't have been able to do anything. So yes, guys, scale Bomb completely down right now, because he just got humbled. Now, the needing Leviathan thing was the thing that caught me off guard, because we didn't know, and we still don't know, how they'll interlace and work with each other, and how Bomb's going to use Leviathan's power. But the 3 dragons seems to be a thing that popped up in the Bomb's head, that he may actually need those to even contest with Traum. But again, given this scenario, I don't know when the 3 dragons can even pop up, when they'll be relevant. It just seems unlikely that Bomb will get a chance to even capture these guys. Now, we get a little bit of a hint mentioned by Gustang in a flashback that it's Traum's fault, and Enkidou is the reason why Blank died. Now, understanding that, it sounds like Enkidou is definitely a Shinua that Traum controls. But how is it that this person died if this anima or the Shinua is under Traum's control? Now, here's my theory, guys. Enkidou may be one of the really divine beasts. Now, as we understand how the tower works, right? The higher you climb, the more dense the Shinsu is, the more dense and crazy the animals get. So I'm going to guess that Enkidou could be 134, 133. He could be one of the animals that last was captured by Traum. It may not necessarily have the dominance over this beast because it's one of the last he captured. And this is really, really interesting, because we've only seen Traum completely dominate besides Leviathan, who's the only one that's kind of talked back against Traum. So if this monster was in Traum's control, but seemingly got loose for a second and killed this person, this makes Traum a little bit of a bitch, I ain't gonna lie, because bro not taking no accountability for what's happened here. It seems like whenever something traumatizing happens to Traum, literally his name's Traum, but bro tosses the memories away. I mean, look at the lengths that he's going through to take away his memories. Bro is sealing beasts away and forgetting about them, and sealing him in other places and forgetting about them, just so he doesn't have to deal with memories. I mean, talk about the king of unaccountability. Bruh. Traum's character is very interesting, I'll say that though. Like, I really am enjoying him, because he seems to be a very complex person. Not to mention, bro's a baddie. Like, pause, I don't give a what y'all talking about. Bro's a baddie. But I wonder what happened to with the mask, because again, looking at Traum in the flashback, he's maskless. Now, I assume that Enkidou may have caused this. If Enkidou was being sealed away unwillingly and givenly in the sprout, by the way, guys, yes, that's probably what Rachel's going after. That's probably what Enkidou is sealed at, in this sprout, and Traum has likely forgotten about him. So, given that Enkidou is probably sealed here, mind you, and I'll also say that I'm probably wrong about the Enies of Hard thing. Yes, I know Enies of Hard's not sealed here. But Given that Enkidou is sealed here, he probably did some damage to Traum before he was sealed. And I'm not gonna lie, that would be very fire. If a Shinua of that level can damage a family head, then we really gotta explore how big this tower is, guys. Because again, this is a family head. This is one of the strongest beings in the tower. And if there's animas and Shinua out there that still exist that can damage them, especially the one who controls them, I see why that Traum may be one of those guys who specializes in capturing them. These beasts and monsters may have been extremely dangerous to the Great Warriors. But I am very interested in Enkidou, and I can't wait to see him. Hopefully in the next chapter we'll get to see a little bit more. But who's the person that Enkidou hurt? Now, a lot of people are speculating Icarus. Some people are also speculating V. I don't know what that may have to do with V, given that we know it seems like it was a manipulation that's a hard caused V's death. But Enkidou may have something to do with that. But I'm going to assume Icarus for now, especially since the name was scratched out. But once baam gives the revelation about all this information, because it'll probably mostly all come from baam, bro, I feel like we're gonna get hit with so much lore and so much content. I'm gonna lose my mind, man. But this just made things extremely more complicated. And it's given Traum's character even more depth, and I can't wait to see it. Gusting and Traum's connection and the things they've been through, bro. I'm loving where this is heading. I just hope that we can start the chess match soon, because please, I don't want to play any more games, bro. I really don't. But as far as my predictions go, I think we'll get a little bit more of this flashback, just a bit, not a lot, before we dive into this game. I know we're going to dive into it. I'm going to hate it, but we are going to dive into it. And maybe we'll get another POV shift to seeing what everybody else is up to, because we've been stuck at Urek versus Luslec for a while. So chapter is a 7.5 out of 10 for me. I think the Luslec and Urek stuff dragged a bit, but overall it was very satisfying, and the fight was extremely satisfying. Now, if you guys don't know, the Discord is up, so I'll link it in the description below. Yeah, make sure you guys come and join the conversation. And yeah, you guys know I'll be streaming tomorrow, probably around 2-3 o'clock, so make sure you guys show up for that. Until then, I'll see you, and cheers to a good week.
It's love.